Well, now we're going to graph inequalities and use interval notation to state the solution. So let's do number 1, and we've got x over 11 is greater than or equal to 10. So to isolate x, that's our goal, we'll multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 1 over 11, which is 11. And now the denominators divide out, and we've got x all by itself, and that's greater than or equal to and 110. Now let's graph it. We've got a hash mark at 110. And I'll put a solid circle here, or the book does it this way, they'll put a bracket. Either way works. Shade everything to the right, and the solution is, in interval notation, bracket 110, infinity, and we put a parenthesis here because we never attain infinity. We just get, we never attain that. Now, if there hadn't been an equal sign associated with that, we would have had a parenthesis on both sides. Also, the only time you flip the inequality is when you multiply through or divide through by a negative. One other thing, when you're done, the proper form is to always, with a single inequality, have the variable on the left, never on the right. Variable on the left when you're done. So now let's do one more. We'll do number 2. And so minus 47 is greater than or equal to 8 minus 5x. So we need to get all the x's on the left, everything else on the right. So I'll tell you what. We've got to get rid of this negative 47. Let's add 5x to both sides and 47 to both sides. So 47 and plus 5x. Now here the 5x's add out. Here the 47's add out. And we get 5x is greater than or equal to, and 47 plus 8 is 55. And now we'll multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 5, which is 1/5, which is essentially the same as dividing through by 5. And so the 5's divide out, we get x is greater than or equal to, and 5 into 55 is 11. So now we'll graph it. And we have a hash mark at 11. And it turns out solid circle or a bracket, whatever you prefer. Everything to the right. And in interval notation, we've got a bracket, 11, and 2, infinity, and parenthesis. And so we've got 2 of them out of the way. Now we'll deal with the third one. So we'll do a little erase job. Okay, 3. So we have 4 plus 2 times a plus 5 is less than minus 2 times minus a minus 4. Okay. First, let's dispense with the parentheses, so we'll use the distributive property and distribute the 2. So 2 times a is 2a, plus 2 times 5 is 10. Less than. Now minus 2 times minus a is 2a, positive, and minus 2 times minus 4 is plus 8. Now look at this. If you subtract 2a from both sides, the 2a's disappear, and we get 4 plus 10 is 14 is less than an 8. Well, that's impossible. So what's the conclusion? The conclusion is no solution. On the other hand, what if, let me do another case, what if when we were done we had this outcome? What if we had 14 is greater than 8? This is just a what if. What would be the implication if this was the case? The implication would be all real numbers, negative infinity to infinity. And if we were to graph it, we'd wind up graphing the whole number line. You see, a was the variable. Anyhow, this is not the case, but what if it was? This would be the implication that. But since we have an impossible situation, no solution. And we're done.